400 light-years from the Empire's Reach's flight path, in a briefing room buried 9 levels beneath the surface of the Conquered's capital world, Fleet Admiral Elena Vasquez Cole listened to the briefing Gearl. Elena Vasquez Cole listened to Intelligence Director Grace Whitfield finish her report and did not say anything for a long moment, because the room's silence after bad news was, in her experience, more useful than any hasty response. "Say the numbers again," she said finally. 11 Void Reaver-class battleships. Escort screen, roughly 40 light vessels. 1 Sovereign-class command carrier, the Empire's Reach, which our records identify as belonging to the Kaldreth Dominion's ruling family personally. Current heading and velocity put them at Kestrel's Landing in 6 days. Whitfield did not soften the numbers, because she never softened numbers, on the theory that the people in this room had earned the right to hear things plainly. Deep Intelligence has been aware of Dominion activity along that flank of conquered space for 11 years, Admiral. We knew expansion in that direction was likely eventually. We did not expect it to arrive at a decoy world this soon, and we did not expect it to arrive with a command carrier attached to what should be, by any reasonable measure, a minor annexation force. "They think it's an easy target," said General Dominic Alvarez from the far end of the table, his gravelly voice carrying the particular weariness of a man whose entire career had just stopped being theoretical. "Kestrel's Landing is one of our best decoys. Rosa Delgado's people have kept that colony looking exactly as primitive as it's supposed to look for 40 years. If a Dominion scout got a clean read on it, of course they think it's an easy target. It's supposed to look like one." "Then the question in front of us," Vasquez Cole said, "is not whether the Veil worked. The Veil worked exactly as designed. The question is, what we do now that a foreign power is 6 days from a colony full of our people, believing that colony to be defenseless." She turned to diplomat Sofia Reyes, who had been quiet through the briefing so far in the particular way that meant she was waiting for precisely this moment. "Sofia, your Corps has spent longer than anyone in this building preparing for a first contact scenario. Tell me what happens if we let this play out as an annexation before we intervene." Reyes did not hesitate. "Then we let a foreign power occupy a Terran colony, subjugate its population under whatever administrative framework the Dominion uses for annexed species, and we do that specifically so that our eventual response looks more dramatic. I understand the tactical appeal of letting them overextend before we reveal anything. I am telling you plainly that I think it's morally indefensible, and I don't believe the Concord Charter permits it either. Rosa Delgado and everyone on that colony volunteered to look defenseless. They did not volunteer to be conquered. No one is proposing to let them be conquered," Alvarez said, an edge in his voice. "The evacuation protocols for Kestrel's Landing have been ready for 40 years. We move the population before the fleet arrives, and Dominion troops land in an empty colony." "Which they will notice immediately," Whitfield said, "and which will tell them, in the space of about 6 hours, that the primitive farming world they surveyed somehow had advance warning of their approach and the capability to fully evacuate 40 settlements without leaving a single one of its own transports on Dominion sensors. That is not a small tell, General. That is the single loudest possible way to announce that everything they think they know about us is wrong, short of opening fire." Vasquez Cole let the room sit with that for a moment because Whitfield was right, and because the decision that followed from her being right was not a comfortable one. "Then we evacuate anyway," she said finally, "because I am not leaving Rosa Delgado's people on the ground to be occupied for the sake of preserving a deception, full stop. That decision is not up for debate in this room. What is up for debate is how we manage what the Dominion learns from an empty colony, and how much further we let this go before we decide they've learned enough. She looked around the table, at Alvarez's grim readiness, at Whitfield's careful patience, at Reyes's barely restrained urgency. Dominic, begin the evacuation immediately. Quiet as you can make it. Grace, I want everything Deep Intelligence has on the Kaldreth Dominion's internal politics, because I suspect that's going to matter more than their fleet numbers before this is over. Sophia, she paused. Start drafting what we say to them. Not if we ever get to say it. When? Thank you for listening to the opening chapter of The Quiet Empire. Please leave comments. They are always appreciated. Also, please like and follow on TikTok, or like and subscribe on YouTube. They will help to keep these stories coming and on a quicker pace. Thank you.